The king of leaker confirms the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Is it coming or not? But do you guys know that Samsung is going big with the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and we are going to see a different camera design and different display on Galaxy Z Fold 6. So stick till the end to find more, and for more updates, don't forget to subscribe. Now lately, Samsung was thinking of going with the dual processor on Z Fold 6 and Z Flip 6 and it was kinda confirmed. Samsung is going with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in US, which is already confirmed from Geekbench scores, which I will share later, but other regions might see Exynos processor. Now according to The Elect, Samsung dropped the idea of going with the dual AP on foldable phones. And it is not because of a performance, but the real reason was the cost of going with the dual Android processor. Foldable phones are not big enough to go with the dual processors, although foldables reach more shipment than the Note series when it was discontinued back in 2020. So still, it is not big enough to compare with the Galaxy S series devices to go with the dual processors. And honestly, Snapdragon processors are way to go and people hate Exynos processor. So either it's cost, performance, or efficiency, any reason is a good reason for us to have a one processor for foldable phones. Before talking about the Geekbench scores, let's talk about the Ultra model from Evan-Blass. Evan-Blass share a list of devices releasing this July, and sad but it is true, there is no product listed here with the name Z Fold 6 Ultra, but instead there are only two models, Fold 6 and Flip 6. Some people suggest Evan only talks about the products which are going to launch in United States, and maybe we're going to see Ultra model in Samsung's home market South Korea, and the people who are claiming there is no information about Ultra. Some suggest Samsung is keeping this a secret, but what I believe this year we are only going to see Z Fold 6. Maybe next year we are going to see the Z Fold 6 Ultra. Nobody knows and it's too early to even talk about it. Before talking about the inner display aspect ratios, let's talk about the Geekbench scores of Galaxy Z Fold 6 and RAM options. Are we going to see an update? This is the first ever real Geekbench scores of Galaxy Z Fold 6, indicating we are going to see Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 but made for Galaxy version, where you can see the middle cores are underclocked and the high performance core is overclocked at 3.4 GHz, similar to Galaxy S24 Ultra. I'll explain the RAM option later, but first, these are the Geekbench scores. The single core scores are 1964 and 6619 multi-core score. Quite shocking to me, since there's a little to no change in the single core scores of Z Fold 5 and Z Fold 6. Fold 5 scores 1943 single core score and 5123 multi-core scores. Although it seems impossible, but remember, I said first ever Geekbench scores. This means we will see improvements in these numbers closer to the launch. And this also indicates a battery improvement on the Galaxy Z Fold 6, which I'll explain in a moment. Now, Z Fold 6 will going to feature a One UI 6.1.1 based on Android 14. And if you know, you know, there are a bunch of new AI features coming for the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Even ICE confirmed the video AI features are also coming on Z Fold 6, which we first expected on S24 Ultra, but it never happened. Now that we know about the scores, let's talk about the RAM options. This Geekbench scores shows we are going to see at 12 gigs of RAM. Now most of the people says we can expect 16 gigs on Z Fold 6, but honestly, what I have heard from different sources, Samsung's cost-cutting strategy will skip 16 gigs on Z Fold 6, and this is already confirmed. So either go for 12 gigs or wait, because it's not gonna change. The storage options will remain the same, 256 gigs, 512 gigs, and 1 TB version. I know 12 gigs is more than enough, but people wanted 16 gigs, which we are not gonna see on Z Fold 6. The camera look is also out and it is from Ice Universe. He shared this picture from Galaxy Z Fold 6 camera. This is the camera detail design of Galaxy Z Fold 6. It seems Samsung changed the camera design on Z Fold 6. It is too close, so we cannot say much, but I believe there is no such camera array on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. The lenses are individually aligned, which seems okay. Although if you're wondering, are we going to see a camera update? Well, we're only gonna see 50 megapixel main sensor, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto sensor. If you are thinking it looks familiar, then it will, because it is same as Galaxy Z Fold 5. Maybe a new 50 megapixel sensor is used for the Z Fold 6. Are you guys wanted to see the no crease on Z Fold 6? Well, even Ice Universe confirmed big about the crease of Galaxy Z Fold 6. But first, let's see the aspect ratio of the inner display. According to Ice, Galaxy Z Fold 6 will look similar to Vivo X4 III but would be smaller, with a screen ratio of 8:9. This is not that interesting because the cover display is getting wider. Also, he shared more information on the crease of the Galaxy Z Fold 6. According to him, although the creases are not completely eliminated according to testers, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 does reduce the creases. He claimed, "We are going to see a less visible crease," but didn't share more information about. But there's another source claiming big about the crease and the new UTG on Galaxy Z Fold 6. Bye bye crease almost. A new redesigned ultra-thin glass is coming on Z Fold 6. It is over 50% thicker, which means stronger and more durable and less visible crease. Now honestly, I don't bother with a crease on inner display. Yes, if the display is off, you can see it, but while using it, you won't even notice. But if Samsung is improving it, it is always a welcome change. But apart from crease, we want the durable inner display, and that matters the most. So I'm hoping the black line inner display will finally go away from the Galaxy Foldables with the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and this new ultra-thin glass. Not only this, Samsung is also going to improve the hinge on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. Last year, Samsung removed the gap between the Z Fold 5 and Z Flip 5 hinges, which helps it to keep the inner display safe from dust. They called it a flex hinge. This year, Samsung is working on even extensive version of flex hinge to prevent dust even more. Even though TM Brew already hinted towards the dust-proof foldables, but we are not there yet. According to the source, Samsung registered a trademark with the name Iron Flex, which is supposed to debut on the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Flip 6. The name indicates we may see a better durability, but one thing to consider, there are chances we may see a dust-proofing on the Z Fold 6 and Flip 6, but it is not confirmed yet. With the new hinge, we may see a more number of folds. Last year, Fold 5 came with a basic 200,000 folds, but it can last around 400,000. So we can expect more folds on the Z Fold 6. With the new durability numbers, let's see the price of Galaxy Z Fold 6 and would you go for it? This year, Samsung increased the price for the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and the new price was $100 more with some noticeable changes. Seems like the same thing is going to happen with the Galaxy Z Fold 6 and Z Flip 6. According to internal source, Samsung will going to increase the price on both models. $100 increase on both models, similar to Galaxy S24 Ultra. This is mainly because of parts are getting expensive, and if you notice or not, a lot of people were talking about Exynos version of Z Flip 6. No, it's not coming. As we are getting price increase, Samsung will surely give a Snapdragon version in Z Flip 6. Although I would prefer cheaper Z Fold 6, but sad, Samsung is going opposite of what people wanted. If you guys are okay with the price, let's see, are we going to see a wider cover display on Galaxy Z Fold 6? This is the screen protector of Galaxy Z Fold 6 alongside Galaxy Z Fold 5. There are a couple of major changes here, so let's list them one by one. First, Samsung is moving from rounded design to more squared-off design on Z Fold 6. There's one more important thing, and no one talks about this. On Z Fold 5, we can see the display is slightly thicker from the hinge side and a little bit uneven due to hinge, but there is no such thing on Z Fold 6. This also indicates Samsung is even decreasing the hinge and making a wider cover display. Samsung wants a sweet spot. That's the reason they are going with this design. Obviously, now everyone explains, this is 60.2mm compared to 57.4mm. Not much of a big difference, although when you look at the picture, there's a clear difference. But if you compare with the OnePlus Open, no, it's not that wider. Although it looks like OnePlus Open cover display, but it's fairly taller. Now, upon researching about OnePlus Open cover display width, it's 73.3mm, a lot wider compared to what leaked here. Obviously, this information is not from official sources, so until we compare both devices side by side, we cannot put our final thought in it. Samsung is launching earlier, and the release date of a Z Fold 6, Z Flip 6, and Watch 7 series is confirmed. According to confirmed sources, Samsung will going to launch all these new devices on 10th of July, way earlier compared to last year, 26th of July for a previous event. On this note, if you find value from this video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Till then, peace out.